For us, solo jeeping is about freedom. The freedom to explore new places, discover new trails, and choose our own adventure. If you're new to solo wheeling, choosing the right trail is key. Vulture Mine Trail near Phoenix is a great place to start. It's moderate, mixes desert scenery with mining history, and offers just enough challenge to build confidence. We'll take you through the trail and share practical tips to keep you safe and help you experience the freedom your Jeep is built for. We suggest you follow a track from Onyx Off-Road. That's what we're going to do today. We're going to run this counterclockwise. Onyx has a good track. We followed it before. The problem is that if you don't follow a track, particularly on this trail, there's a lot of intersecting trails. They're not all marked or signed, and you could make a wrong turn. Fun Treks also has a good description and a map, so you can try to follow the map, but it's more difficult than following a track with GPS that will route you right on your phone or on your screen. Begin by crossing the Hassayampa River, which is usually dry, although there are almost always cows in the riverbed. The trail itself is about 15 miles long, ranging in elevation from 1790 to 2,500 feet. Stick around because we're going to show you a beautiful natural feature off the trail that we stumbled upon. You go through several gates on this trail, the first of which is just after you cross the river. The rest of the gates are stick gates, which can be a bit of a pain in the ass to open and close. This trail is a lollipop. We've just finished the handle, so we're going to turn right on 9071. That's the Fun Treks book, suggested direction, and we're going to follow it because then we can use the Fun Treks as a guide to stuff we're coming up on. And then you'll come back to that intersection after you finish the loop. Preparation looks different when you're in a group compared to when you're wheeling alone. In a group, you've got safety in numbers. If one person gets stuck, there are others to pull them out. If someone forgets a tool, chances are somebody else has it. Even a breakdown or a flat tire is easier to deal with because there are extra hands and extra gear. In a group, preparation is shared. When you wheel solo, preparation is personal, and it's what turns solo wheeling from risky to rewarding. It's about mindset, being ready to deal with adversity and problem solve on your own. There's no backup Jeep with a winch, nobody with a spare part, no second set of eyes to help you spot a line. You have to expect the unexpected, because out here, stuff happens. That's why we always carry a Starlink Minis. We run with a winch and recovery gear, and we know how to use our recovery gear. We bring extra food and water, and we always start with a full tank of gas. All of this can make the difference between getting stranded and getting home safely. A big difference between running solo and with a group shows up at obstacles. In a group, you can watch the Jeep ahead of you, and if they make it through clean, you follow their tracks. If they struggle, you pick something different. You've also got spotters and extra eyes on the ground. Solo, every obstacle is up to you. That means stopping, getting out, and walking it first. You study the terrain, choose the line you think is safest, and commit to it. It takes more time, but it builds skill and confidence because you're learning to read the trail for yourself. On Vulture Mine, this downhill ledge is the toughest obstacle on the trail. You can't see the full drop from the driver's seat, so you must walk it first. The ledge is uneven, somewhat tall, with a significant drop on the passenger side. We show you the line we took, which worked well, although our Jeep pitched forward about 20% and rolled right about 16%. If your passenger tires slip off the ledge, you could tip over. And once you start over the ledge, stay committed. Don't lock your brakes or your Jeep may slide. When you clear something like this on your own, the sense of accomplishment is huge. Looks like nobody's home today. I agree. Okay, here. So let's do. All right, hang on. 1, 2, 3, lift. Come on, let's go. We're almost got it. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Hang on. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Is this a mine? Or is this a well? I don't know. Here.
There could just be an air hole. I don't know.
So, okay, here. Yeah. Okay, here. Yep. That was my head. All right, and okay. So we have left it. the way we found it. This is the second mining area you will come to, Mammoth Spur Mine. If you decide to stop, you'll drive to your left up onto a fairly steep plateau. Just be careful when you drive back down. Here you will see mine tailings, and also there is a foundation for heavy equipment of some sort. There are also some other remnants. According to Fun Trek's book, there are open mine shafts on each side of the road in this area. We've looked for them many times, but we've never been able to find them. If anybody knows where they are, please put it in the comments. As you leave this area, you will climb on the trail and the views open up dramatically. The saguaro cactus is the most recognizable symbol of the Sonoran Desert, and Arizona has the largest and densest concentration of saguaros. Saguaros can live for more than 150 years and reach heights over 50 feet. They grow slowly, often taking 10 years just to reach a foot tall. Saguaros are simply striking. Towering over the desert floor, their tall green columns and dramatic arms stand like silent guardians scattered across the landscape. For us, saguaros embody the spirit of the desert itself. Resilient, enduring, and beautiful in their stark simplicity. Seeing a saguaro forest up close is an unforgettable part of exploring Arizona's backcountry. For us, a fallen saguaro is a sad sight in the desert. These giants can stand for more than a century, towering over the landscape, and when one finally comes down, it feels like losing a landmark. On the ground, its massive trunk lies collapsed and twisted. This one must have fallen only very recently because its ribs were not yet exposed and the skin was still a vibrant green. Although this trail is close to Phoenix, it is very lightly traveled. On a Saturday, we saw only 3 other vehicles. All 3 were Rivians, and they were traveling together as a group. We saw them on several occasions, and it looked like their vehicles were very capable. Another advantage of wheeling solo is that if you want to check something out on trail, you just do it. That happened to us on Vulture Mine Trail when we noticed that around 9 miles, Onyx had designated something called Natural Arch. So we decided to check it out. So following the Onyx track south on 9056, Onyx calls it West Gates Road for some reason. If you go past the left turn onto 9052, in less than a mile, you come to the Natural Arch. We decided to check it out, and we were not disappointed. It's beautiful. After visiting the arch, just retrace your tracks, turning right at 9052 instead of left. There's a saying we like, run your own trail. This means you don't have to drive a trail the way somebody else says you should. Fun Trek says that Vulture Mine Trail should take 2 to 3 hours. Online reviews might say one thing or another about a trail. But so what? None of that really matters once you're out here, because your Jeep, your skills, and your comfort zone are your own. When you're solo especially, the pace you choose and the decisions you make are part of the experience. If you want to stop and walk every obstacle, do it. If you want to pull over and take photos, that's your call. Sometimes the same trail might take you twice as long as the book says, and that's perfectly fine. The goal isn't to keep up with someone else's stopwatch. The goal is to be safe, build confidence, and enjoy the drive. That's the freedom of Jeeping. You don't have to measure yourself against other people's expectations. You can run the trail your way, at your pace, with your Jeep, and when you finish, you'll know you didn't just follow along, you created your own adventure. That's what it means to run your own trail. And that is Vulture Mine Trail, which we think is a great trail for somebody who wants to solo the first time, or if you're inexperienced soloing. Although again, we point out we do not think it's a beginner-friendly trail, but it is a stock Jeep-friendly trail. At the end of this video, you'll see our playlist for the top 5 trails in the Phoenix area. We love those trails. We run them regularly, and we hope you will too. Until next time, keep your rubber down and your spirits up.